Coming up next on the spot. This week we're taking the crazy train. I said we're taking the crazy train. Turn up your hearing aid, old man, because I'm about to start talking about games. Games like Otona no DS Cow Training for the Nintendo DS, as well as NHL 2K8, Lair, Hot Pixel, Undertoe, Socom, Madden, and, well, I wasn't gonna do this, but okay, fine. Bioshock for the Xbox 360 is in the building, and we'll take you beyond the demo. Get ready to lip sync, Ozzy. On the Spot begins now.
Hello, welcome to On the Spot. I can't hear you.
What's that, Jeff?
I ain't on the spot.
That was totally unintelligible.
Hear that? I said this is On the Spot, GameSpot's weekly show where we talk about video games.
Well, if you stop talking crazy for a second.
Crazy is all I talk.
That's so true.
I know. So we've got an action-packed show. You saw the list of games, enormous.
I did.
With some very big games and some very big trailer action, some highlights, some clips.
I love clips. I love games. Let's get into this.
Yeah. Okay. So probably the biggest news this week is Bioshock leaking out early.
It's out there.
It's out there.
I was calling Toys R Us's like crazy all around here yesterday, the day before, and there's pictures online of people with their receipts and playing
people
Bioshock.
next to it going like, I'm playing Bioshock.
Dude's got his gamer tag like on a post-it above the box.
Yeah, so that was
pretty.
pretty crazy and kind of frustrating because we didn't have Bioshock, but
Whabam!
now we have Bioshock.
We know people.
We know people that want us to review the game, so they send it to us.
So we're going to play some of that.
We are going to play
Let's just
a
play
little
some
bit
of
of Bioshock. No, we can't play it just yet.
Let's
man.
come on.
No,
I want to.
No, we're not going to play Bioshock just yet, because first we have to talk about Socom.
Okay.
Now there was a recent event with Sony where they took Brad Shoemaker out there and they taught him how to be a man.
Finally.
Yeah, I know. Someone had to do it. They taught him.
It seems odd that it would be Sony to do that too.
Yeah, I know. So they're teaching him how to fire weapons out there. Now Socom's a very tactical game, a lot of different realistic weapons and stuff, and they let him shoot some guns here, I guess. I don't know if they're real guns or what. Let's take a look and see what's going on.
Excellent.
Following Brad on his journey to manhood. Brad, you're geared up, and so tell us what's going on so far.
I put on some clothes. Got a coat, got some pants, camo. I put my mask on. That's about all I can say. So we're about to go into the war room here and kind of map out our strategy. We've got a map of the combat area, whatever you want to call it. So about to go gear up here and plan our tactics.
You can put your face mask on so we can be sure you're going to be safe. And there you go, that's Brad. Look for him on the video, because he'll be the one scampering around with a black mask on.
This right here is a threat area right here. You got to make sure that you go ahead and you come around this. You don't just walk around it. You got to make sure that as you come around the thing, you're ready to engage whatever it is that's there. Get to the barn. Questions? All right. All right, guys, come on in.
Does everybody have a mask? Okay, everybody's got a mask.
Yeah, you got 416. That's a great one right there.
Here, I'll do it. You got an M4, okay? Very simple. Safe, semi, full automatic. Okay, keep it on safe, get ready to go. Here's your magazine. Keep it pointed down so you're on range.
Once you leave this station right here, for the entire time that you're in a scenario, you will carry your weapon in a ready or safe position, which is like this. Not up, not pointing at anybody, not leaning back, rest your stance like this. When you're ready to fire that weapon, you'll bring it up, put down the sights, take it off sight, take your shots, put it back on safe, and bring it back down to your fight position. All right, everybody step forward into the gap. You'll have a target in front of you. Hey. make me whack you with my crutch. We didn't do standby, bro. Stand by! Buster! Bring it back down. Buster! Okay, weapons at the ready and unsafe. Right face. That's this way. Don't get packed up. The guy in front of you should stay. Go, go. Come on down, baby. Go, fuck, shoot. Shoot on the road. So you're gonna shoot both ways this time. You got it? You're gonna fuck it up, aren't you? No? Okay, go. You already fucked it up. You're not moving. Go, shoot both. Come on.
First thing, cover concealment. Cover is you're behind something that protects you. You're being shot at, and it doesn't kill you. Concealment, it protects you. They can't see you, but if they shoot at it, the bullets will go through, and it'll kill you. All right? Point and rear are going to stay together. All right? The guys in the middle, whether it's 2 or 3, you're going to move to the next barrier together as one. So, and number 2, now you're going to look, you're going to see your 2 guys or 1 guy. You're going to be like, you're ready, and you're just going to move. And you're going to get down, set. Once you're set, next element, we'll move. Got it? All right, let's set up. Give me a point. Once they're set, pull up, stop. You're in the road. It's your field. All right. Now go. Tap them out. And you're controlling again. Pretty much. There you go. Once you see these guys moving, yeah, good call. You see them moving? Get right back.
Dave, this is Monty. We're ready to go on your command.
Go with him, go with him, go with him. Nice. Nice.
All right, so that was Brad.
That's learning
with airsoft
what
guns.
he needed to do with airsoft guns.
Yeah,
his
learning
fake,
to be
assault
a
rifle.
SEAL. We'll be checking in with him later for the dramatic conclusion.
Ooh, dramatic.
Dramatic.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Just the conclusion.
That's right. Speaking of drama, Bioshock.
Bioshock is very dramatic.
That's right, and let's just show it. Here's some Bioshock.
Hey,
I am
check it
playing Bioshock right now.
It's creepy. It's all misty, and there's lots of tile all over the place because it's the fake 1940s or whatever.
Yeah. So I just want to show a couple of quick things here, and then we're going to try and get into a fight here. But you pick up different tonics and objects as you go, and you can really just kind of search anything. If you haven't played the demo yet, then this is going to be all kind of new. But here's one of these tonics here. Uh-oh, something's happening. Hello.
That guy was just standing there.
Not anymore, he's not.
Thuggish Splicer.
Thuggish Splicer. I smoked that fool, and then he also had $10 on him that I took. So you pick up these tonics along the way, and they give you new powers. This is kind of how you can branch out and kind of alter your character. Speedy Hacker helps you more easily hack machines, and that's something that comes into play. You can hack vending machines to get discounts. You can hack turrets so they'll attack enemies instead of you.
How often does that come into play, the hacking stuff?
It comes into play kind of as often as you want it to. You can just kind of bypass it a lot of the time, but there are a lot of safes that have money in there, and.
So is everyone that you meet like crazy and homicidal? Because that's kind of been what I've seen so far.
Well, this isn't. This is maybe an hour and a half past where the demo ends.
Okay.
So far, yeah. You talk to this guy on the radio, and he seems relatively friendly, or is he?
Dun dun dun.
I don't know. And you kind of run around, and this place is inhabited with crazies, psychos, and so you have to shock them, or you can burn them. Or you can later on. I understand you have an arm that will shoot bees.
Arm
which
bees.
is one of the most horrifying things I can think of. Not since the bike gun have I been this off put
Because your
by a
arm turns
weapon.
into like a hive, and then bees just fly
Yeah,
out.
I don't
of
want
your
that to
arm.
happen. I don't want that to happen at all. So,
Oh man, I want that to happen nonstop.
let's load up a different sequence here, and we can show a little bit more. You got any questions going on over there?
So far, people want to know. Let's see here. Rafal from New York wants to know about How long is it going to take for the average person to play through some Bioshock?
You know, I'm still playing it. I'm hearing from people who have played it already for, you know, strategy guides and all kinds of different stuff.
Sure.
I'm hearing numbers like 10 hours, 15 hours, somewhere around there. So it seems like it's of an average length. But it also sounds like there will be some choices for you to make at different points in the game that, you know, might warrant you going back and playing it again.
I got a question here from Nathan in Calgary. That's Alberta, Canada.
Yes.
Wants to know if there's any multiplayer of any kind, or if this is strictly a single-player Deus Ex style experience.
This is a single-player game. There is no multiplayer in the game at all. It has new game, load game options. No multiplayer, no nothing.
I have to say, like, from what I've seen so far, just like the way the world of this game looks,
Yeah.
I get kind of a little bit of a Fallout vibe from like the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not as purposely funny as maybe Fallout was.
Right.
But it does have that kind of 50s earnestness to its advertising and propaganda and stuff. So you have different tracks that you can upgrade here. You know, tonics, physical, engineering, combat, and plasmids. And plasmids are the kind of your hand here. You know, with the electrobolt telekinesis and that sort of stuff. You have a vending machine. Here's what the hacking looks like real quick. I won't actually hack it for real, but it's kind of like pipe dreams. You just kind of uncover all these pipes, and you need to connect the start to the end before the juice flows through, and you know, you lose.
You know, I hear that's what actual hacking is very much like.
Yeah, Kevin Mitnick went to jail for doing something exactly like this.
Playing pipe dreams.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Okay, so let's see if we can get in some combat here. Now, the enemies in this game, a lot of them are, you know, psycho humans, but then there are also stuff that are just no joke. And that's just a little shadowy.
This game loves like spooky shadows.
It loves
stuff.
shadows, and since it takes place in an underwater city, you know, as you might expect, a lot of work obviously went into making the water totally awesome.
Yeah.
So kind of everywhere you look, the water is really nice looking, and you know, you see kind of out into the city there, and that's all underwater, which is crazy. This dude built an underwater city, and you're in it, running around. It's just weird.
So do you think the underwater stuff's going to play like a larger role as you advance through the game? You think you're going to end up in more water?
I'm going to say probably.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really know.
Yeah. No. I'm looking for speculation here. So.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, water does seem like a pretty big theme. Of course, it's probably no coincidence that the first power you get is electricity, because you can just shock people in the water.
I got a question here from Tamim in Concord, California. Wants to know, how's the pacing of the game? Is it always running and fighting, or are there parts where you can relax?
There's a lot of parts where you can kind of relax here. So this is one of the. Got to juice up here.
Oh dear.
This is one of the. Oh, that guy's.
This is a big daddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So.
And you're almost dead.
So yeah, these guys, no joke.
They're
you know,
fast.
not necessarily AI powerhouses of strafing around and hiding and stuff, but they definitely soak up damage really good. So the whole deal with that is they're walking around with little sisters, who are these little girls that are apparently, I don't know,
creepy, I think is what they are.
Yeah, and you have to kind of deal with them as you make your way around and conduct your business. So far, seems like a relatively linear game. Sounds like you will be making some choices at various points in the game, but overall, seems like a pretty high-quality first-person shooter, and we'll have a review soon.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Thank you. I think you pretty much answer a lot of the questions that I'm getting from the folks at home. So.
Okay, well, fantastic. We'll look for more on Bioshock soon, people. But right now, we're going to kick it over to Brian Eckberg, who is standing by with 2K Sports, who've brought NHL 2K8. Brian?
Hey guys, thanks for that. This is a decidedly less scary game, but there's still some amazing moments in this. Ben Bishop joining us from 2K Sports, and we're looking at NHL 2K8, of course. Ben, I guess I want to start with some of the things you've done with the controls. You've made, it seems like you're really trying to take advantage of what these amazing NHL players can do on the ice, right?
Yeah, it's really a different experience this year, and like you said, we have a totally new control scheme called the Pro Stick, and basically with the right analog stick you can do pretty much anything you want to with the player stick. So if you want to move the puck back and forth, you can do that. If you want to bring it back, you can do that. If you want to pull it forward in front of you, you can do that. So there's all sorts of options, from deking to protecting the puck to deciding whether or not you shoot a forehand or a backhand. You can see with players like Ovechkin, they can even do some really fancy stuff like bringing the puck behind the back. So it's really cool because it gives you, like you said, the ability to do all this cool stuff the NHL players can do. But then at the same time, you'll start to learn certain players can do certain things differently. Power forwards can, say, for example, hold on to the puck better in traffic. So there's a lot of depth to it, and it's really a fun and different way to play the game that we've never had before.
And our friend Anthony is actually playing the game all week and sit here and talk about it. But it's nice because it really seems to differentiate players at different skill, right?
Right, exactly. So, like a guy like Ovechkin, you'll notice he's faster for one thing. He can do things like move the puck behind his back. He can more quickly take it from the forehand to the backhand. Where if you take a defenseman like, say, Morrison there, he's not going to have as much range of motion. He's not going to be able to bring the puck behind his back. He's going to have a slower shot, just getting from one side to the other. So there's definitely a difference from player to player.
So when you put these kind of weapons in a player's hand, giving them this new offensive capability, it seems like there would be a lot more onus on your defense and your goalies to improve. What have you done this time around to improve that side of the game?
Yeah, well, two things really. The Pro Stick extends to defense as well. So now with the right analog stick, you can sweep your stick back and forth. You can flick it in any direction to do a poke check. You can click it in to lay the stick to the ice and block passing lanes. So you have that option. Of course, the CPU defenders do too. But then the other big thing is that goalies have been pretty much revamped from the ground up this year. So, everything from tons of new butterfly animations. You'll see them sliding across the crease on their pads. You'll see them coming out to challenge to try to cut off the angles on breakaways. They've really kind of taken on a different face this year. There's tons of new AI for them deciding, when to make certain saves, when to come out and challenge, when to do different things like that. And it really makes a big difference. I think the goalies are so dynamic this year. You'll be playing dozens and dozens of games and you'll still see something new from them here and there depending on what you're doing. So it's not like the same old stuff over and over. They really react depending on the situation and what happens to occur.
And since the next gen of sports games have come about, player likenesses have gotten a lot better, but we're also seeing people demanding a lot of detail with equipment and things like that. So you guys have really upped your detail in that respect this time as well.
Yeah, we can actually go into replay here and take a look at a player like Ovechkin. We have tons more licensed equipment than we've ever had in the past before. And we went, to even the smallest details. Like you can see, if you pull out a little bit, you can see Ovechkin's got the yellow laces, for example. He's got his own custom gloves that no other players in the league use. Everything from the pattern on the glove to the type of helmet he wears to, like I said, the yellow laces on the skate. And we tried to make each player stand out in regards to their particular, pieces of equipment they use and their body type. So, like a bigger guy like Chara, who's out there, you'll notice he's a lot taller than most of the other guys, whereas some of the smaller players, you'll definitely be able to see that differentiation from a little guy like, say, St. Louis to a big guy like Chara. So really we wanted the players to, for you to be able to pick them out from a distance. So if you notice, hey, there's Ovechkin and his yellow laces from far away, hey, it is Ovechkin, you'll know it not just from the way he's playing, but from his visual representation.
And what's cool is that all this equipment you can use for your created players and things like that. An insane amount of detail in terms of customization.
Yeah, you can go in yourself and create a player, and you can customize all the different sections of the gloves with what color you want. You can choose, what stick he's got. You can choose what kind of helmet he wears. With the goalies, you can choose what sorts of pads you want him to have and where you want those colored, where you want the gloves and the blocker colored. And even with the actual NHL players, if you want to go in and update, like say Kolzig changes his pads during the season, you can go in and do that yourself. And we're going to try and do it for you in our roster updates, but if you want to do it the day he does it, you can go in and make that change on your own.
Cool. So the other aspect of getting players as accurate as possible is superstar moves. So I wanted to move on over to the practice mode and check out. First of all, tell us what the superstar moves are, and then we'll take a look at them in the game.
Superstar moves, yeah, they're definitely an exciting new feature this year. It's definitely has a little bit of a flair for the dramatic, but basically there's different combos with the face buttons that you can do to pull off some pretty cool moves. I guess they're more used, I would say, in shootouts, and maybe you'll get a breakaway in a game and be able to use one of them there. But for the most part, it's the kind of things you've seen players do in real life, like in the '94 Olympics, Forsberg did his one-hand reach, so we'll show you that here in a second. Datsuk ended up burning Marty Turco with his plant and slide across the crease, and you can see that here. The through the leg shot. Right. There's actually 12 total, ranging from some of the basic ones that you see players use all the time, like a fake forehand, bring it to the backhand, take the shot, to some of the more fancy and dramatic ones, like I mentioned Forsberg's move. They're really all there, and what's cool is that again, kind of tying into a lot of the stuff with the Pro Stick, not every player can do each move. There are thresholds for each one. There was a pretty cool fake to backhand there.
Should show that a replay. That was nice.
You want to take a quick look at the replay there? So there are thresholds, like I mentioned. So certain players that aren't particularly skilled aren't going to be able to do all the crazy moves, like say the through the legs, for example, or Yeah, something like that behind the back.
Can you show that Forsberg one where he pushes the puck outside? Close. Maybe Niedermeyer couldn't pull that one off.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely depends on which player you're using and where you are on the ice. And what's cool is we have a Superstar Moods practice mode where you can actually see the CPU try it out and kind of get a feel for where on the ice is a good place to do it. And then you can practice for yourself. You know, do I want to come in from the left side or the right side? When do I want to start the move? Do I want to start it at the hash marks? Do I want to wait a little bit? Or do I want to try to do it a little bit earlier? So there's all sorts of options.
Essentially, these are just, you hold the left trigger and it's 2 button presses. So it's still kind of simple to pull off some really amazing moves.
Yeah, it's not something where you're going to have 5 seconds and pull off some crazy combo. The combos are pretty simple in themselves, but I think the challenge is, you know, making sure you've got the right player that can pull off the move and finding the spot on the ice to do it. You do get a chance to aim your shot after it's released, but you know, it all kind of depends on the goalies too. Sometimes you might beat him if you get him to bite at the right time. Sometimes they might make the save. So it's all, you know, it all just kind of happens in the flow of the game. You know, sometimes you'll pull off a goal and it'll be, you know, totally cool, and other times, you know, you might get stoned. So it can go either way.
Jeff or Ryan, do we have any questions for Ben on NHL 2K8?
We do. Let's see here. We have a question from Cole in Boulder, Colorado. Wants to know a little bit more about franchise mode. You guys got anything to say?
Excellent segue.
Yeah, definitely. Franchise mode has definitely changed a lot this year. I think there are kind of 2 big areas to focus on. One is that we added as many of the new NHL CBA elements as we could. So things like we have a waiver system, we have 1- and 2-way contracts, we have restricted and unrestricted free agents. We even have holdouts for players who you can't agree to contract terms with. So you've got all those management options. And then kind of on the other side, we have a brand new player growth system. So you can actually watch your players over the course of the season develop, and you can see their attributes increase from one level to the next. And a big key to that is their playing time on the ice. So if you've got, you know, a young, good prospect that you want to improve quickly, you can put him on your first line, you can try to be successful with him, and that'll give him a chance to see his attributes grow more quickly. And on the flip side, you know, if you have him stuck on your fourth line or if he's scratched, he might not get that chance to develop, so you might want to put him in the minors and let him grow there. So that's kind of on the flip side, whereas you're playing games and just watching your players develop, you've got that aspect. So I think there's kind of a little bit for everybody.
And just like, you know, always, you can decide what you want to play in franchise mode. You can let the computer handle the business side of it, and you can run practice or however you want to do it, right?
Yeah, that was a big thing for us. I think there's a little bit for everybody for sure. Some people might want to do it all. Some people might want to focus more on the management and you know, let the CPU worry about all the player growth and practices and team chemistry and stuff like that. Or you might go the other way and you play all the games and let the CPU handle all the management stuff. So it's kind of up to you how much you want to take control of and how much you want to let be automated.
Cool. Maybe another question, Jeff.
Yes, I do have one more question here from John in Mesa, Arizona. Wants to hear about a little bit more about the online tournaments and leagues and what kind of options will be there.
A couple quick things I can mention on the online front. For the 360 version, we've added 2K Reel Maker, so you have the ability now to save replays. And you know, if you happen to capture a really cool superstar move, you can save the replay. You can make a cool highlight reel out of it, and then upload it online for people to check out and rate, and then post their own themselves. We also have, you know, the same staple of online leagues and tournaments we've had in the past. We've got really cool website support. You can do fantasy drafts, you can track your stats, you can write articles, you can create polls, all that good stuff. So we're definitely still committed to the full slate of online features. You know, we've got leaderboards for now people playing with sim style settings, for people playing increased control, for example, if you want to have a game where you're both controlling the goalies. So there's definitely, I think, a little bit of everyone for there too, and that's always our goal. We want to make sure that there's all sorts of different styles of play, and hopefully everyone will have something that makes them happy.
Great. Well, the name of the game is NHL 2K8, and when's it coming out, Ben?
It is coming out September 11th, so it's not too far away.
Yeah, just around the corner. So thanks so much. We appreciate it.
No problem.
So now we're going to take a look at a little event. This game launched called Madden. It launched this week. We were there for all of the live craziness. We saw Ozzy Osbourne perform. That was awesome. So right now we're going to take a look at some highlights from the launch event in New York City for Madden NFL 08.
We've got an exciting night lined up for you with a Madden NFL 08 Marathon. Coming to you live from the GameSpot studios in San Francisco.
Yeah, what's up? Madden NFL 08 launch coverage. I'm Jeff Gerstmann here with you. And we are off the ground. We are off and running for what is sure to be an evening full of surprises. Over on the other couch are the world's best Madden players, as I understand it. We've got Shanker, Kyle, and Daniel. How's it going over there, you guys?
It's going good, guys.
Great. You got the PS3 version over here. We've got 360 and Wii over on this side. We're going to be playing all three of them as the night goes on. And we'll also be checking in with our boys out in New York who are making it happen.
Now, you were telling me last year you were in Florida for the release of Madden 07, and you were saying that's pretty tough not to be able to get your Madden right away.
Man, especially here, since I couldn't get it here in New York City.
Yeah.
It was very, very tough for me. But I'm back here. I'm back in NYC to get my Madden. And surprisingly, I'm the first person online. I can't believe it, too. First day when I get Madden, I take a week vacation off. Like, I don't want to be disturbed at all.
So this is day one of your vacation, then?
Yes, it is.
All right, so that was from earlier today, Brian Eckberg talking to the first guy in line, and you can feel the excitement. That guy's buying it on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that did not go well for me.
Oh, that was
You are...
So now, how accurate would you say Madden is to real football? Like, when you play Madden, are you thinking like a real football coach would think, or have you kind of boiled it down to exactly what you need to do to win at Madden?
Of course, you have to have football knowledge. You have to know what type of personnel to put on the field. The top-level guys aren't going to play a real simulation. They're going to manipulate certain aspects of the game to win.
Now, here's a question for everyone. Matthew in Charlotte, North Carolina asks, how do you feel about rookies being designated as weapons when they haven't necessarily proved themselves in the NFL?
I mean, like EA said, they talk to a lot of people. They talk to a lot of scouts, and they pretty much know what to expect. And for the most part, they do a really good job of rating players, so I don't have too big of a problem with it.
Someone wants to see the Lions.
They just want to see Calvin Johnson.
And someone wants to see the Buccaneers.
I'll take
You guys want to do...
No, they don't. You just want to see the
someone
Buccaneers.
said, I don't know if they're saying it on my behalf.
Coming up.
Does Mike Allstott still play?
He may never play again.
Then I don't care about the Bucs anymore.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
let's take a look at the...
I just want to look at the
let's take a
stats
look
real
at some of these
fast.
post-game stats here.
270.
270.
Good Lord.
Serious business.
Look at Wes Welker getting...
Oh, wait, hold on. I understand we're going to go out to New York. They got some kind of surprise going out there. Take it away, fellas. I don't know what's going on.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction, but he's on stage right now. His name is Ozzy Osbourne. That's pretty awesome.
That was hell of Ozzy, and I'm hella deaf.
Yeah, we were right. If you can't see, the speaker is right next to us, so that was full-on Ozzy rock right in our ears.
All right, thanks, guys. Ozzy Osbourne, ladies and gentlemen. I caught it! Yeah. All right, we are back with Kevin Van Ord, associate editor. Kevin, now I know you're an avid lip syncer. Do you think you could out lip sync Ozzy Osbourne there?
I don't think I could possibly compete with that.
Yeah.
No way.
All right, fine. Then let's not talk about that. Instead, let's talk about Dragons. You're here with Lair for the PlayStation 3. This is coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, it's coming out very soon, just around the corner.
Cool. All right, well, let's take a look at it. I want you to tell us, what is this game all about? You just fly around and burn stuff?
Yeah, that's kind of what this game really is all about. What you're doing here, at this point, you're playing as Roan, who is an Assyrian dragon rider.
Okay.
So at this point in the game, you've got the Mokai, This is like a volcano-infested world. The Mokai live in all the charred lands, where the Assylians, they have taken up all the green space that's left. So at this point, as Roan, you have to save these religious leaders, these guardians, because they are kind of cultish. So you're trying to save these guys. So the first part of this mission is just to fly to the standard spot.
Okay. So now the game is broken up by missions. Each one kind of just take you through multiple objectives, almost like a Wing Commander or like a World War II flying like Blazing Angels, but with a dragon or something.
That's exactly what it is. You're it'll constantly give you different objectives to complete throughout the source of the mission, and they're pretty varied. I've just completely failed this one. But it usually does a pretty good job of showing you where your objective is. There's an arrow at the top.
Yeah.
But my Guardian has just now bit the dust. So, but now you get into the good stuff, which is essentially fighting dragons. And now, in terms of the controls, I'm flapping by repeatedly pressing the X button and using the six-axis controller to.
So you have to constantly flap.
Veer. You don't. You can stop flapping, but it'll pick up speed.
Cool.
You'll then use. Yeah, this is.
So this game is basically a big 3D mission-based joust, isn't it? Let's just. You just hit another dragon and he died. If these were giant ostriches, this would just be joust.
You can say that. Now, what happens as you get closer? I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing, but as you get closer, it'll automatically target these dragons. You can go in for the kill using the circle button, and if you play your cards right, in between each one, you can use the six-axis to tilt the camera, and then pull them together for a combo kill.
Cool. How is the control? I think that's probably the big question everyone has about it. Now, do you have to use the six-axis?
You do have to use the six-axis.
And how does it work?
You know, I have real mixed feelings about it. I'm not enjoying the way the game controls, to be perfectly honest. There are a couple reasons for that. One is that there's a lot of leeway for the movement, so you can't really make tight turns.
Gotcha.
It's also really easy when you get against things in the environment. There's like a big invisible wall that trips up the collision detection around everything.
I see.
So it trips you up everywhere you go, and it just doesn't feel extremely, intuitive, especially because it'll change. Like when I go in to do this, suddenly the six-axis, rather than controlling flight, controls the camera. So you have to constantly adjust.
So you're constantly switching back and forth.
Exactly.
Well, it seems like something you get used to. Ryan Davis, I know you've got questions about Lair.
Brother, do I. I've got one, let's call this from John in Florida. He wants to know if the missions are linear or can you complete objectives in any order?
They're pretty linear because the objectives will pretty much be doled out to you as the mission goes on. So it's pretty much just one objective after another that's given to you.
How much of the game so far has been this kind of get on the ground and just lay waste to these guys? This looks pretty awesome.
It's I would say right now it's about a third of the game is laying some waste like this. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's really awesome to do stuff like this. You can do lots of different things. You can pick them up and throw them around. I can if I get up into flight. Let's see if I can manage to do it. What you can do is kind of come down.
Oh, and slide and
pick up a guy.
Oh, okay.
And then I can throw him around. I don't know if it works, but that's essentially how you're supposed to be able to do it here. If I can
grab something there, Ryan, hit us with some questions.
Let's see here. Bobby Needham in Norfolk, Virginia wants to know, does ground combat use tilty support as well?
As a matter of fact, it doesn't. The controls completely change. So if I land, suddenly the analog sticks are doing all the action. So the tilty is not doing anything at this particular spot. Everything is done by analog stick. But when I get back up into the air, it switches back. So there's a little bit of adjustment you have to do between ground and air.
Cool. How far into the game is this mission? Is it?
I think this is about the 6th mission.
Okay.
So I'm not really all that far into it, but it's also a really hard mission. So it constantly gives you one objective after another, and it's time based. So you have to get it done in a specific amount of time, or you fail the mission.
Cool. All right. Well, Kevin, thanks a lot for bringing it by. The game is Lair, and it's out in September. Correct?
That it is.
Awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to your full review on the site around that time frame then.
Awesome.
All right, now we're going to go over to Ryan Davis, who's being joined by editorial director Ricardo Torres, and they're going to be talking about Virtua Fighter 5.
Yes, we are.
Hi.
You just got back from Sega.
I did. My hair's all messed up, too.
You did get not going through hair and makeup beforehand.
Yeah, sorry.
So VF5, what'd you see?
I just played it online on 360.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that feeling for you?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not done. It's a little, they still have a bunch of stuff to iron out, but it's the first time it's been kind of online.
Uh-huh.
And it felt really good. I mean, there's a little bit of lag, but I mean, like we weren't going to get any?
Right. Do you know how far away the people that you were playing against were?
I fought against a couple folks. Some people were like in the building, and some folks are farther out.
Okay.
So.
Like, how bad was the actual the lag?
It's just to where you notice it.
Yeah.
So, you know what that's like.
Just enough, but it wasn't a consistent thing.
And we're showing off some stuff. We weren't able to get direct feed of the multiplayer online because they were really concerned about, just all little glitches that were cropping up.
But what we're looking at here, this is on the 360.
This is on the 360. This is single player.
You've played this in the arcade. You've played the PS3 version. How does what you've seen on the 360 compare?
It's really close, and what they've done is they've put in some extra stuff. You'll notice that the awesome thing is that, like, some of the hair, there's new hair, as you can see. There's new hair, and like what I'm dying to see is how they're going to translate it into Japanese, because she currently Aoi has an updo, and I want to know how that translates. But so I took a bunch of notes when I was there.
What else
and
you got here?
I will run you through the stuff. So
right, break it down.
For the online stuff, there's the addition of a rank that only appears online, which is kind of cool. So that's that's your props. There are a ton of leaderboards. You can filter them all kinds of ways, in different modes, different characters. The really neat stuff is there are clips to all the top folks on the leaderboards that you can actually view.
Oh, so you can see like the best players in action.
Will they have the sweet VFTV announcers on it?
New commentary has been added to the existing commentary.
Okay, well they'll still have the existing commentary though, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because if they change that, a boycott starts here.
The nice thing is the commentary kind of is defaulted to off, but you can turn it on. The other stuff is, so like I said, ton of leaderboards. Now they started talking percentages at me, and nobody freak out. I was switching between using an actual controller and using the arcade stick.
Oh, so they are going to do an arcade stick.
Yeah,
Is it wireless or wired?
The one we had in the office was wired, and it's going to be VF branded, and it's going to be out in time with the game, which is cool.
How did it feel?
It felt pretty good. The nice thing is, as I'm going through all the notes I took, the game also supports the analog stick on 360 in addition to the D-pad.
Okay.
Excellent.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that might prove useful for a few moves.
Yes, and so let's see. So they started saying percentages, and it's not like I was there with like a note, but they said 60% more CPU characters in the quest mode. They said the AI is harder. There's an expert difficulty now, which is no joke.
Yeah.
There's going to be more items up front in the item shop when you pop in. The best part, and Jeff's going to feel me on this, because we have our magnetic cards from Japan, you can now put your data on your memory card and take it to a friend's house.
Okay, so you can just plug it right in.
Yep.
Okay, nice.
And you can pull your profile off that. Let's see.
Like, Sega didn't do that with any of the PS2 Virtua Fighters. It took them like this long.
Hey, they did it, so
they
I'm not
did
complaining. Let's see. There's some subtle stuff that I'm kind of happy about and not happy about. So in the dojo mode, what they've done is they've made it so you can actually lock moves. Because you know how before when you go through all the moves in the dojo mode, it automatically cycles as you did it. Now you can lock it so you can perfect the move. They still haven't put in a replay, kind of like the really awesome one that they had on the PS2, but that's cool. I'm not going to hate. Let's see. They got Satojo more voice commentary. They're apparently adding voice commentary to the European version, which should be great for everybody. They improved the anti-aliasing, and I noticed a little bit of that in some of the stages. It's mostly, like in this stage in particular, if you look at some of the backgrounds, they're a little easier on the eyes. The game is also going to support downloadable content from Xbox Live Marketplace. I kind of bugged them a lot, and all they'd give up is that they're kind of leaning towards making it like cool items and stuff that you can download for the characters. And nobody was talking achievements yet, which is kind of a bummer.
Do you think there's any chance that downloadable content will be stuff to keep it like abreast of the arcade versions as the revisions come out?
It's entirely possible. And in case anybody's wondering, although they weren't exactly sure which one, they told me that this version is based on the very latest arcade code that is making the rounds in Japan.
Okay, so it's the latest update then.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
And you know, they could throw some stuff in, but you know, it felt okay. It takes a little bit of getting used to the really minor lag, but I mean, it's there.
And we're also talking about a game that's not finished yet. So.
Yeah, totally. It's not coming out, I believe they said October.
Cool. So you got a little bit of time.
Oh,
Jeff, do you have any questions of your own, or maybe throw one from the folks at home before
I've
we
just
wrap
got
this
one
up?
question. It's an opinion question here
Okay.
from Jeff in Daly City. Virtua Fighter 5 or Tekken?
Talking to the wrong person.
No, he just wants to know. One or the other.
Tekken.
You got to pick one.
I grew up with VF.
I'm going to say Tekken. Control Room says Tekken.
Yeah, I've got voices in my ear saying Tekken.
But
so.
that's mostly Ryan screaming in there, so ignore that.
I'm hearing
because
Mortal
he's got
Kombat.
a Tekken trophy in his office.
All right, now the entire control room's talking. Let's wrap this up while we can. So
Yes.
October's coming. You got to see it online. You're pretty happy with what they're doing with
I
it.
got to go back and write.
All right, will you do that?
Thanks, sir.
Jeff, what do we have up next?
Well, coming up next, we're going to take a look at the dramatic conclusion of Brad Shoemaker's Socom adventure. Will he survive? Will he take one to the face? He will take one to the face. I can guarantee it. That's Brad's style. Let's watch.
Get up.
Let's go. You ready to get around? Everybody come on, get on out there. Get on out there. Come on, he's right up there. Engage him.
Don't shoot the guy at the hat. Use that point.
Jack's in here. We got to get him out. Intel says, you know, that's a pretty hostile town. There might be some guards, broken patrol out here cruising around. If you guys see a guard or anything like that out there, you guys need to go ahead and take care of business. We need to get inside of here, secure this guy, and we need to extract back all the way to this point right here. leapfrogging you guys down there. We'll roll it back to the door. Go. Do not go out the door.
Hey guys, I'm here with the man known only as Monty. Now Monty has been putting us through the ringer all morning, teaching us some urban warfare tactics. Okay, so I want you to be brutally honest here. You were with us. We were out there in it. How do we do?
You guys did about as good as I would do with a computer.
All right, that's fair, I guess. All right, Monty, thanks a lot.
You betcha. Nice meeting you.
All right.
Brad, you're a man now. What happened to you?
We went in for mission number 2. We had to go in, breach a doorway, rescue a VIP who was being brutalized by the insurgents, and escort him out. And we did a middling job of accomplishing that task.
Did he actually make it?
Yes, but he was heavily wounded.
Hey, he didn't drop. And friendly fire, did you take any? Did you hit anybody?
I took a shot to the head, but I kept trucking.
Nice. See, that's how he rolls. So this is the kind of stuff that Brad does to cover games. It's interesting, it's different, and now he knows how to kill. So, all right. Look back for his written preview on the site very shortly, and then check out the game, which is out this fall. It's really cool.
This week's episode of On the Spot is brought to you by Stride, the ridiculously long-lasting gum.
Okay, we are back. All right, that was Brad's experience learning how to shoot a real gun, but don't worry, there was a whole part of that whole thing that was him actually playing a game, and he'll be writing about it pretty soon. You can see his full written preview on the site tomorrow. But right now I'm being joined via the magic of the internet and telephone in as many different ways as we could find to connect ourselves with Donald Mustard of Chair, and he's here to talk about Undertow. Sir, how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing really well, thanks. Good to see you and hear you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad. What happened last week? Come on.
You know, there's, the magic of the internet sometimes doesn't work quite as well as you want it to, and sometimes things happen. Cords get unplugged, and, well, you know how it goes. You make games. There's bugs.
Exactly, it's just bugs.
Yeah, sometimes there are bugs. So tell me, what is Undertow for those of us that haven't seen much of it yet?
Undertow is an underwater aquatic action game. Basically combines the gameplay of like Battlefield 1942 with Geometry Wars, and puts you in this awesome kind of underwater world where you get to just have this really great combat. Undertow has basically this awesome 15-level single-player campaign with a whole separate 2 different multiplayer modes. It's got online and offline co-op, and it's probably its coolest feature is its 16-player multiplayer.
Cool. So we're going to check out some of that multiplayer. Why don't we jump into the game right now? I've got a controller here on this end, and you've got a bunch of your guys in, so I'm going to ready up here and see if we can get a game going. And maybe you can tell us kind of as we play a little bit of what we're seeing here. Now, it's kind of control point based, right? You kind of want to take over spawn points?
It is. Each map has a series of control points that whichever team controls the most has not only more spawn points, but is draining the other team's tickets. And so each team has a certain number of tickets, and when those tickets reach 0, they lose. And so you want to keep your own team's tickets while depleting the enemy's tickets as fast as you can.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get the game going and see if we can deplete us some tickets.
So I need you to check in so I can get it started.
Okay.
Hit your A button.
I'm hitting A. Is this the right A button? There's a third Xbox controller over there. Try handing me the other one. See if that one.
All right, there you go.
Okay, there we go.
Let's get started. Okay, so this map is Tide Pool, and this is one of the multiplayer maps that you can play. And here we are with our team, and this is one of our checkpoints that we start with. Now, if we head up here to the left, there's another a base that we can kind of take over here.
Up and to the left here, is it?
Yeah, come up with me.
Okay.
So once we have control of this will serve as another spawn point for us. So now we've kind of got control of this side of the map. We can go and start to take the fight to our guys on the other team.
Okay, cool. Now I see, I'm a little diver, and there's a big ship. Now this is a class-based system?
Yes.
What are the different classes?
So there's different. So the class that you are right now is the infantry, and the infantry is a smaller, faster unit. It's really good for scouting and kind of quickly getting to other people's bases. I'm also that infantry unit. This other guy on our team is the Corsair class. It's a little bigger, a little faster, and shoots missiles and things like that. That
Cool.
big kind of crab that we have on our team
Yeah.
is the destroyer class, and that kind of serves as like a big tank. And each race has a different destroyer class. They're kind of really good for defense and for really kind of hanging back and really bombarding areas.
So now, as an infantry guy, should I be running away from these destroyers? Are they just going to tear me apart every single time?
What you have is you should be using your dash button if you kind of can get back with us. You can really dash around very, very quickly, which allows you to kind of dodge their shots and kind of get through them.
Okay.
So some of the really good strategies I like to use as the infantry is to really just kind of use your speed to kind of get in close to guys, hit them with a few shots, and then dash away from them. And then with the Corsair class that you are, you can kind of use that for more ranged attacks, kind of see those guys in the distance and just kind of bombard them with missiles.
Got it.
Now where you are there, we should probably go take over this base. Now if you come with me, we can take it over faster than I can by myself.
Okay.
Now right now we have their base at neutral, which means they can't spawn here. Now if we take it, we can spawn. Now their tickets, we have a few more tickets from them that we're getting from killing them.
Yeah.
But if we can take all of their bases and leave them with no spawn points, we can just shut them out immediately.
Got it. So that'll then end. Oh man, I was taking a spawn point there. I got mowed the heck down.
They're starting to really hit us.
Yeah.
Okay, we got that back, and we got the middle as well.
Okay. So how many different maps will be in the game?
There are 15 different maps in the game. Now, if you hold down your X button, you'll be able to do like a really fast, constant boost, which is a great way for getting around the map.
Okay. So it seems pretty intricate. Like it's definitely more than just moving and shooting. You've got a lot of different controls in there and options. Now, the characters will upgrade over time?
Yes, you can. Well, if you look down at your bottom left of the screen, you'll see your points, and you've got, it looks like about 2,000 points at this point. And when you get 2,000 points, you can upgrade your unit. And when you do that, they will move faster. They'll shoot longer. They do more damage. And each unit type has 3 different levels of permanent upgrades. So once you've upgraded it, you'll always spawn at that upgraded level.
Got it. And what are the upgrades? What are the big benefits of the upgrades?
So the really cool thing about this game is it really, you're right. It really has. It's very simple on the surface, but there's a lot of intricacy and a lot of skill that kind of goes in as you start to get better at the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of depth there. And the other really cool thing is that we were able to do all this in 50 megabytes. I mean, what you're looking at is 48.9 megs.
Yeah, and how much work went into crunching that down and making sure it was the right size? Has that been a bit of a chore, or has it been no problem?
Oh yeah, no, it's been an awesome lesson. It's been so awesome and fun making this game because it really, having that 50 meg limit really forced us to kind of boil the game down to its core element of what makes it fun. And so we really just had to spend all of our time tweaking the elements of fun. Now, in addition to that, we really spent a lot of time really trying to push graphically what you could do in that amount of space. And we think it looks pretty cool. And what's great is it really sets us up for the future. That now we've got all this code in place, for what we can do in 50 megs.
Right.
Now that we have 150 megs for the future, we'll really be able to really start pushing this stuff. And so it was just a good lesson in the simplicity of game design.
Right. So where do you go from here with Undertow? Is the game finished and you're just waiting for release, or are you still tweaking and testing?
Yeah, we are just in the very, very final stages of fixing the last few little bugs and tweaking the last few things. We're very close to certifying the game. So the game will be out soon, sooner than later.
Awesome. And so, obviously it sounds like you had a pretty positive experience developing for Xbox Live Arcade. Do you think you'll be returning to Xbox Live Arcade? Can we expect Chair to be working on maybe like downloadable PS3 games in the future? Or, you know, what's your next project, or, you know, as much as you can say, I guess.
I can't officially say what our next project is, but we're excited. We're finishing up Undertoe, and we're ready to get started on our next project. And we've had such a good experience with this arcade game that we'll always have, from now on moving forward, a portion of our team dedicated to downloadable games. I mean, it's just been so awesome, and we're just getting ready to start on our next thing.
Awesome, Donald. Well, thanks a lot for getting on the phone and getting on Xbox Live and playing with us. It's been great to have you.
Oh, it's been great. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot. The game is Undertow. Look for it on Xbox Live Arcade pretty soon. Right now, we're going to send it back over to Ryan Davis, who's joined by Kevin Van Ord, and something crazy, Fate. They're going to train their faces to do what? I don't know. Take it away.
I figure it's the last demo of the show. Why not go out with something totally ridiculous? The game that we have here that Kevin's brought by to give us a fun little demo of is, the full Japanese name is Facening de Hyoju Yutaka ni Insho Up. You know what? I'm not even going to keep going. Face training. I like just the beginning of the title of the game is Facening. Like you're going to do something with your face.
Facening up.
Going to facing up. So not brain training this time, face training. They've made it crazier.
No, I was actually hoping that I'd be able to train my face to like fetch my slippers, or instead, there's this whole big thing in Japan.
You know, that's totally going to be like a Nintendog spin-off. Is face obedience.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I give it demands that like look prettier, but it just doesn't do anything. But instead, there's this whole thing in Japan where you want to strengthen your face and you look better and you look younger if you exercise all the muscles in your face. So I decided it was worth a try. Who doesn't want to look younger? I'm like the oldest person on staff.
How long have you been playing for so far?
For about a week and a half.
Are you feeling more tone?
I feel more tone. I feel younger. I feel shinier. I feel healthy.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and see the game over. Why don't you mount up here now, as we're seeing on camera, almost. There you go.
There we go. So what I'm going to do is head into one of these trainings. Now, there are different muscle sets depending on what you want to do. So this is probably my favorite one here, if I can find it. Here we go.
Now, folks that need to pay attention is this over here is a little camera that actually plugs into the GBA port on your DS.
That's right. Got a little teeny camera there.
This is key to the experience.
Now, this one doesn't actually involve the camera much, because in most of the games you have to position your face in the right way, but in this one it doesn't really do any sensing. So I have to wait for the nice Japanese lady to stop talking.
Is there like a crazy Japanese lady the way there was a crazy Japanese doctor in brain training?
Not quite that dramatic. It's just crazy because of the stuff that you now have to do.
Yeah.
So now I have to tilt my head back. And what's the next thing? Oh, I open my mouth. Yeah.
This is going to be a great demo to do while you play this game.
So wait. There's tongue action next.
5. Tongue.
Oh, come on. You can do better than that.
Push, damn it. Train that face.
Feel the burn.
Oh, he is feeling it.
Is that done yet?
I think so.
Nope, not done yet. Okay, now head
3,
forward. All right.
Yay.
5.
You just made me do that longer than the game makes you. Thanks.
So
there's always that one, but that's not the only facial muscle. Obviously, there's some other stuff to do. So let me see one of my other favorite ones here.
You can't say glasses to the lady or anything like that.
No, she doesn't respond. I say it actually, but she doesn't say
glasses.
I think if you put your glasses on twice really fast, then she flips out.
Okay.
Because it's got a camera.
So now, see, you're supposed to. I can't really show this, but you're supposed to. You can line up your face there.
Try and get your face in there.
See,
and then down there, get your face in there.
The detection's actually really good. It'll find your eyes really easily. There we go. So
even with glasses on, has that been a problem?
Yeah, you can keep the glasses on. See, it's actually finding my cheekbones nice and easily. So now, this is face scrunching.
Face crunches.
Mm-hmm.
Get your face abs.
I look very angry right now at the game.
Look very terse.
And then even more.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Okay, John in Arizona has the first question. Why are the people of Japan so crazy?
It's a question we've been asking ourselves for years.
Well, I think it's just a matter of the game market over there is so radically different. It's been like such a huge thing for so long that it can't help but just evolve into this crazy thing like this, where it's not even a game anymore, and it's this like self-improvement product.
My lips hurt now.
Does that feel pretty good?
You got to feel it. And are you feeling it is another question here from John in Arizona.
You know what? You will hurt. It seriously, when you're done, it really is like you went to the gym with your face.
You went to face gym?
Exactly. Exactly. I think I can lift weights with
I bought a face
my nose
home
now.
gym. Chuck Norris said it was good. I don't know.
You bought it, but then you never use it. It just sits there.
Look at this face. It's tough.
So now I think this is actually one of my favorites too, because instead of doing fish faces, now I have to squeeze to the side. Oh no, this isn't what I thought it was. I don't read a lick of Japanese, so I haven't been able to figure this one out actually, because she just sits there like this the whole time. I think I'm supposed to do something like this or something, but I can't tell.
Just push? Is it pushing?
I don't really see her doing anything, so I guess we're doing this.
This is Home Alone mode.
So that's not the one I thought it was actually. But yeah, that's there's. I mean, you can do stuff since I don't understand the Japanese. She's saying like the stuff with the eyes. I don't really do a good job with that because I have to keep looking at the screen because it keeps making me close my eyes and stuff like that. So I'm not so good at that.
So you're not able to tell when it's telling you to do something else?
Exactly. So I have to cheat. I have to like, what's it doing now?
Cool. So this is coming out in the U.S. like next month, right?
No, it's never ever coming out in the U.S.
So expect this never in the U.S. Import friendly, not at all, because it's a lot of it's dense with Japanese and totally crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd say that this was worth every penny.
I'm buying it. I'm totally sold. Importing it.
And if
I
you
won't
want
be able to
face,
understand it, don't care.
Exactly. If you want a face like this, I'd say that this is the game for you.
That's
and who doesn't want a face like
interesting
this?
way to promote the game.
Why thank you.
Thank you, Kevin, for coming by and giving us a look at this ridiculous game. You're going to be back tomorrow.
I will be back tomorrow, yes.
On the GameSpot set.
Tournament TV is tomorrow. So for all of those who were worried that it was gone for so long, we're going to be playing Rainbow Six Vegas on the 360. Hey, look at that. There's some footage.
There's a little bit of Rainbow Six.
Exactly.
So is
that pretty?
This is going to be like the first of many?
This will be the first of a three-part series. There's Mission 1 and then Mission 2. And the two winners of those will actually be here in San Francisco in October and face off for a final live event that's happening right around the corner.
But part 3 is going to be played in face training, not Rainbow Six Vegas, right?
That's the twist.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That's the big reveal for when we get to October.
You're giving it away.
Totally blew it.
You blew it. Ah. All right. Well, thanks, Kevin.
My pleasure.
Jeff.
Thanks, guys. One last question here. Let's see here. Eric in Northridge wants to know, when's the Ryan Davis mustache trainer coming out?
This isn't something. This is no game, sir. This is all very real, serious business here.
That's simulation.
You can't learn this. You got to live it.
All right. Well, either way, thanks. That about wraps it up for the show. I want to thank 2K for bringing hockey by, and of course Donald Mustard for getting on the phone and playing a little Undertow with us. And hope you enjoyed the show. We will not be back next week on Thursday because we are going to be broadcasting on Friday from the Penny Arcade Expo. So, and also Saturday. So that's 2 days of hot shows coming to you from Seattle at 4 p.m. Stay tuned for those next week. I'm Jeff Gersman. See you then.
Crazy, but that's